Hello. Hello, is this thing on?
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I was just chewing my gum.
Oh man, what's up? It's been a minute.
Just being awkward and shit.
Shit, me too. Welcome back to the Evicted podcast.
Yes.
Episode number 4.
I don't think that's right.
Perhaps not. What did you guys do? We'll wait for your answer.
Yeah.
What's that?
Nothing? Because no one's watching this?
Crazy. Unreal.
Damn.
What a unprecedented concept.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
Well, fuck, what happened over these
Pay
past
attention
2
to us. Come on.
What happened over these past 2 weeks? I think they took a picture of a black hole.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool.
The Cathedral in France or Paris burnt down.
Yeah, the Cathedral of Notre-Dame.
Yep. And that's, I don't know, it's like an 800-year-old cathedral, so that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of it's crazy to think it's stood that long and that it's burning to the ground, I think, still as we speak. But I saw someone on their Instagram story, and it was like a post, and it was a well-articulated post, but it was just like, I'm truly sorry for the destruction of the Notre Dame Cathedral, but it was like, but I look at nature as art, and we are destroying natural habitats and wildlife species, which like is true, but like just maybe seems like not the most appropriate time.
Yeah, I hate when people like take things like that and use it as an opportunity to just like I don't know, like say their own personal agenda. Like it's just kind of it's almost ruining your whole point, because it just makes you look like a dumb idiot. Like when you use tragedies like that to explain your own point of view to people.
Yeah, people don't very often take kindly to that.
Yeah,
kind of
like they'll see the point of it, but like they won't appreciate the message because like of the time you chose to say the message.
Yes, and I agree that is also an issue, but it's like, I don't know, maybe don't use a current tragedy that's going on to get that point across.
Or maybe articulate yourself in like maybe a little bit of a different kind of way instead of just basing it off that. But
yeah, and for the most part, it was like a copy paste thing, so it wasn't like this girl that actually posted it, but like it was pretty well articulated, and I could see why they were saying it, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like you run the risk of coming off the complete wrong way.
Yeah, and
like,
and also with the internet and texting, like it's almost like you can't really always exactly convey how you truly feel. Like sometimes through text, if you tell a joke, like someone else might not perceive it as a joke because of the way it's written.
Yeah, it's things get lost in translation through text.
Yes, and I think it's almost like it's not quite to the same level like with the internet, like in social media, but there's definitely some of that happening because there's like fake news stories and there's just fake articles. Like some of it's even used for like marketing, like some crazy stories that you'll hear on Instagram that are just like outrageous, like they're just made up stories that are used for marketing certain things. And it's easy to take a look at something at first glance on Instagram and be like, oh, what? Like that actually happened? Like let's say what's something crazy and outrageous that would never happen?
We have 4,000 active viewers on our podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, if this article says it, like, I can't believe it. It's true. These guys really made it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Good work, Liam and Christian.
Yeah. It's just like it's hard to differentiate what's fake and what's real on social media sometimes because so many people get tricked by it that like it adds to it. It's like a little black hole effect where like 100 people believe it. And then the next 200 people will be like, oh, 100 people like this and commented on it. Like, it has to be real.
There's, I'm trying to Google it right now, but I don't know if I'm going to find it. And I'm not saying that I don't lean into this too, but, like, there's also, like, ancient places too, like, that are, like, currently, like, being bombed. And, like, there's a picture of, like, what it looked like just a little short while ago and what it looks like now. And it's just interesting. I think it's in Syria somewhere. And I think Russia's bombing Syria. But you know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy to think that like that stuff doesn't get picked up. But like the burning of a cathedral in Notre Dame does. Like it was the same kind of thing. Like I remember there was a terrorist attack in Paris too. I think it was like the the bus incident. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's an awful, terrible thing. And it doesn't outweigh anything. But I remember also at the same time, like in Lebanon, there was like a terrorist explosion, but you never heard anything about the terrorist explosion in Lebanon because
Yeah, there's certain things like that definitely go off the grid all the time. That's not covered by the media, and like
yeah, and
some things are only. It's almost like the media like adds like some flair to it as well that wasn't originally there. Like some details will get spruced up or they're just wrong because like people want to be the first ones to cover the story.
yeah, make it a good story.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's just I guess I'm not like trying to slander the media or say like, oh, it's fake news or anything. But it's just interesting to see the things that do actually get picked up by, well, I'm gonna say North American media because that's the media that we experience here, as well as like the World Wide Web. So it's interesting to see like two things simultaneously happening in the world, but like the Paris one is the one that gets picked up by at least by the people here because they're more concerned with France than Middle Eastern countries, to be frank. But I mean, that's a big political issue. I'm not gonna say that I have an answer to that one way or another, but it's just weird to think that we differentiate these kinds of people just because they're from different countries and stuff, and like one is a bigger news story just because it's in France, which is near and dear to the North Americans' hearts. But anyway, either way, anything that goes on like that is a tragedy. So the burning of the Cathedral in Notre-Dame, that's one of those things that's it's still a tragedy, and it's pretty shitty. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, life will go on. They'll probably erect something in its place, but that's a lot of history for a building to just be burned down.
I just wanted to add this to the point I made earlier about like fake news and shit. Like this is something that I bought into myself until I just double checked it. But there was this meme on Instagram and it said news was an acronym for notable events, weather, and sports. And I believed that when I seen it, and I was like, "What? Like for real? Like that's crazy." I didn't know it was an acronym, but like upon double checking, like it's apparently just not true. It just goes with like seeing something and then taking it for fact because so many people have been like, "What? This is real?" Like, yeah, I've known about this for a long time. It is real.
Well, and more so now than ever.
Yeah.
These generations, like for like our generation, and even a little bit before then and onwards, like information is so readily available.
Yeah.
But it's not all real. Like it's not all true. I know that sounds very like cliche. Like I know everyone has warned, like, oh, don't believe everything you see on the internet. But it's true. Like anyone can just come up with anything nowadays, and it can somehow reach your like timeline.
A lot of people will just make the point to like, they'll just say, don't believe everything you see on the internet, but they won't elaborate. I find like these are things you need to figure out for yourself and like learn to look at, and if you really care enough, I guess. If you don't want to live in ignorance.
Yeah, it's hard. It's harder to be a free thinker now than I think it ever has been because so many news outlets too have agendas too. Even though they try to be unbiased, some of them like still you can see bias come through in certain things. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, don't believe everything you see online, and it's a shame that the cathedral is burning down. But again, don't be ignorant. Try your best not to be ignorant to other current events that are going on in the world because usually there's a lot of shitty stuff going on. I wouldn't say that one is necessarily more important than the other. Like the wildlife thing. Like, yes, obviously that is a terrible thing that is going on right now. But like, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever truly agree with using a current tragedy to push your own agenda. But I don't know. That's just my thought.
And one more point or a little tidbit I wanted to add to the media news thing and just taking things for fact when you don't really have evidence to back it up. We have a friend that is so bad for that, and he'll really just like fight tooth and nail to argue with you on these things that he's heard that like are not even true. Like this guy told me that the spider, like daddy long legs, like that they have fangs that carry like poison that's deadlier than like a black widow or a tarantula or any sort of poisonous bug. And then he said the only reason it can't kill you with its venom because the fangs aren't sharp enough or long enough to penetrate your skin. And I just remember hearing that and I'm just like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, that does sound like a bunch of hoopla.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
It
Because if you stomped on a spider, you know what I mean? Like if you stomped on a daddy long legs, there's still a chance the fangs could get into your skin, like,
Yeah.
and then you die, and you never hear about that happening.
And there's not been a single case of death from a daddy long leg spider, and like that's something that you could easily research upon hearing that fact. You would just be like, okay, I'll just go on Google and see if there's any sort of other resource you want to get it from. But like, let's see how many like daddy long leg deaths there are in Canada, USA, like.
That is the benefit of having readily available information, is that you can find answers quicker. One of my teachers in high school said that arguments are no fun anymore because you can just Google the answer, like, you know what I mean, as opposed to like being like, no, well, I heard this, I heard that. Like, that's the good thing about information that's so readily available at your fingertips. Like, the internet is a great resource, but it's also like, you know,
It's kind of a blessing and a curse at
Yeah.
the same time, because it's just like people aren't growing up the same way that generations before them grew up, and like that can be taken as a positive thing or it can be taken as a negative thing, because you know the older generation, they argue that they had a lot more time to spend playing outside and like doing outdoor activities when they were younger, rather than like the current generation, the new generation, where they have like technology readily available for them. Like kids now, instead of just playing outside in the woods or doing whatever, going for like bike rides, they're just playing on their iPads and their iPhones, and they're all Snapchatting each other. And like, I sound like such an old fuck, like kind of like talking that way, but
well, even when
it's
we
just
were
the
kids,
truth.
even when we were kids, like my grandparents were very flabbergasted by the fact I had a Game Boy.
Yes,
And they're
my
like,
parents too, a little bit.
they were like, what? This is weird. Like, a lot of people didn't know what to make of it, right? Like, but
Yeah, because you're like, I didn't spend my time this way, so
Yeah.
it's scary and uncomfortable for me, like to like think to I don't know, live with the thought that like they're not growing up the same way. But
yes, and that's another part of like the age that we're living in. Like, imagine the jump between the 1400s and the 1500s, right? Like, it wasn't that much of a difference as it is with these. Are you looking at my text messages?
oh, I meant to click on someone else, but look at that profile picture for you though. That's dirty.
Yes, you guys will see this picture one day. But yeah, anyway, we live in a crazy.
We'll hold
era.
it off. Sorry, we'll hold it off for like 100 subscriber special. We'll fucking upload this picture. It's not flattering.
No. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the technology is at your fingertips. Information is all around you. Don't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
Come up with your own opinions if it's like a matter of opinion. Like, don't just be like, oh, well, I read this and now this is my opinion.
Yeah, if you're telling someone something, or like you really care about something, when someone says something that you don't agree with, then do research on it and have your own opinion, rather than just going on Google once and be like, this is it, this is the answer.
Yeah, I read this on The Onion.
Yeah, or The Sun. I read the Sun article about this. Like, two bullshit websites. Like,
Yeah, so I guess the other thing to quickly touch on.
there was a time where lipstick was considered witchcraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting to think.
Or something along those lines. And I learned that in school. I didn't learn that through the internet.
I wouldn't be that flabbergasted by that. I've never heard that, but it would make sense, I guess.
Yeah, it was
People have
like-
been like put on witchcraft for less.
Yeah, because before like lipstick was a thing, like I don't know like what was available for cosmetics, or even if there was any cosmetics, like any makeup or anything like that for women, but I don't know, that it was just very easy for women to seduce men, like around that time period where lipstick was new. So it just like men were just kind of assuming that it had something to do with witchcraft, and it's just women using makeup.
Yeah, that would be a crazy time to live in, like the Salem witch,
Yeah.
like times where like you just get accused of being a witch, and they're like, "All right, we're putting a ball and chain around your ankle, and we're gonna throw you in the lake. And if you drown, you're not a witch. But if you come back up, you are a witch, and we'll kill you."
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah, sorry, my 18-year-old daughter that I've raised and known for your whole entire life and a good portion of my life. I'm
Yeah.
just going to throw you to the wolves, or I'm going to throw you in the water because everyone suspects that you're a witch, but you're my daughter, so.
That's pretty well how it worked, man. Like girls
Yeah.
wouldn't like someone, like not like usually, or not usually, but a lot of women, from what I understand, women would just be like, "I don't like that girl," and they'd just be like, "She's a witch," and then like that's your trial.
Yeah, there's no way, like, obviously it's not a perfect system, it's a retarded system, but there's no way that people in that time era, like, or in that year, like, didn't take advantage of that that law. Like, that's definitely the case, like, where girls were just like, oh, she's a whore, or she's a bitch, like, let's get her killed, like, for supposedly being a witch.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But yeah, the other thing in the world, and I don't really have much to say about it, is that they photographed the black hole.
That's really cool.
It is pretty cool. I'm not as excited as the rest of the internet seems to be about it.
Oh, look, a meme, a black hole meme.
There's a guy climbing out of the black hole.
Naked for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It is cool, but it's just, I don't know. I like science, but I'm not that into it. Like, I don't keep up with like every little progression they make, but it is cool to think that they photographed a black hole. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say about it, really.
I know a little bit too. Like, I don't really keep up with science. Like, it's not something that I'm really passionate about. But I know that Einstein, didn't he theorize that black holes existed way before there was any even remote way to just prove that there was things like that? And like, also, didn't he predict that there was, like, didn't he theorize that there was gravity waves, like waves of gravity too, like in the black hole?
I don't know exactly Einstein's contribution towards black holes. I know black holes have been accepted as accepted as fact. Like, they haven't, you know what I mean, that like mathematically they may have been proven, but all I really know about black holes mathematically is that as you get closer to like the center of a black hole, the laws of gravity that we understand break down and they don't work anymore. You end up dividing by zero, which you can't do. So like we can't really explain black holes right now. But yes, I think Einstein did have something to do with it because he defined relativity. He theorized relativity. I don't really know his contribution to it, but it is cool that now we have like a photo. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it because like I don't know what's gonna come of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is just like, oh, now we have a picture of a black hole. That's cool, and like that's it, or if like we will be able to derive something from it. I don't know. I don't know too much about it, I guess. So like I'm not as excited as like the people that probably are like in astrophysics are and shit, because like it's just not that much of an active part of my life.
I was just gonna say, it's weird to think that people think the Earth is flat. That's a perfect example of choosing to live in ignorance.
Yeah, well, and denying actual evidence. Like,
Yeah.
like good evidence. Like, not just like...
Which I would say is a part of ignorance. Just like knowing something and just refusing to believe anything else because you believe this one thing.
I think there's a fine line between not believing everything you hear and then blissfully ignoring things that you like that make sense, like vaccinations. Like, my grandfather had polio and like was paralyzed temporarily from polio, but like you never hear about any of your parents. Like, if you guys are our age, like in your 20s or something, ask your parents if any of them had polio. Why? Because they made a vaccination for it. They vaccinated polio. Like, they effectively got rid of polio as long as you take your vaccination. And now people are being like, oh, well, I don't believe in vaccinations, so they give you autism or whatever their reason is. And it's like, you have you have education that you can look at. You have resources that say that vaccinations work. You have proof that vaccinations work. And you still choose to deny it. You know, like do you know for a fact that the Earth is flat or that the Earth is round? No, but everything we know suggests that. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you go and prove it? You know what I mean? Like with your own eyes? Well, I guess you'd have to go see it, but you know what I mean? Like, it's almost ignorant at that point to believe otherwise. To just be like, oh well, I don't care. My favorite thing with the flat earthers is the society they had. Like they had a society that had a big meeting or whatever, and they're all like screaming like we're not crazy, which is like it's a dangerous way to think. To be like, oh well, I'm with a group of people that think the same way I do. Like,
I really like how Logan Paul capitalized on that, and he just infiltrated a group that he knew that like he didn't believe any of their core values, like, but he came out in such a way where he just went to a real flat earth convention, and he comes on the stage and he's like, I'm coming out of the closet as a flat earther. So like, and then he just does this whole documentary based on something that he doesn't believe, but he actually thinks is retarded, and then he doesn't expose that he thinks it's retarded until he releases the documentary. Like, I thought
good marketing.
Yeah, it was very good marketing. And you can say whatever you want about Logan Paul as well, but like that's very smart. That was a very smart move of him.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that's all there is this week that is worth. Probably not everything, but that's all I can think of that's worth talking about. But it is really, really cool that they photographed the black hole. I'm just not as hyped up as the rest of the world is.
It's cool to be a part of that. Like, it's cool to just be able to say that we were around when the first black hole, or not the first black hole, but a black hole was first photographed. Which is something that's kind of cool. Like, our parents have things like that when they were young, and now this is something that we have, like, to tell our kids, like, we were this age when a black hole was photographed. Because, like, that's going to be something that is in textbooks in high school and middle school and things like that. That's going to be in textbooks in the future. There's going to be a picture.
I love the picture. Did you see the picture where she's, like, covering her mouth and, like, she's got the image of the black hole on her laptop?
No.
Anyway, it's gonna go down as a famous picture too, because it's like it's that moment where she did capture the picture, but like people have edited the fuck out of it, like so she's like she looks all like happy, you know what I mean? Like, and like the first one I saw was there was diamonds in Minecraft, like she found diamonds in the wall, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna be a good meme for a second. Like, I guarantee you'll probably start seeing it pop up more.
Probably. It's pretty like unfortunate when. I don't know. It's not really unfortunate. It's just like a good chance to get memed on, like when you do things like that.
Oh yeah, it's a perfect meme template. Like she's asking for it,
whether she knew it or not. She was asking for it.
Oh yeah,
to get memed on.
I would hope that she did know, but like who knows? She might not. She might be too busy doing actual important shit.
Yeah, important shit than memes. Memes are not important.
No, but they are funny.
Yeah, they're funny and they're entertaining, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so let's move on to the Would You Rather section. I have a good one to start. Would you rather only be able to eat out of your ass, like with your ass, or you have to drink from your dick?
I would rather probably drink from my dick.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Why is
because
that?
like, I don't know, like, assuming it works the same way as like you like drinking water, like juice or something like that. Like, it'd probably suck to drink like citrusy stuff like lemonade and like just like Sprite and like carbonated shit like that. But like
A Caesar.
if you're yeah, definitely a Caesar too. Yeah, thick stuff. Like, it would be hard to take medicine. I'm assuming that's not the way you have to drink, but like, wait, is it?
You have
okay,
to.
you have to. It'd be hard to take medicine for sure. You'd have to take medicine differently. But you also could use it as a weapon. Like, if you were angry at your friend or something, like you could just like drink some milk and then just fucking spit it out at him, or some iced tea or some lemonade, and
That's
just
a
fucking
twisted reason to
just
pick
launch
that
it at
option.
him. But yeah, or it'd also just be funny to be able to do that on command too. Like, I don't know why, but I think it would be. It'd be pretty. It'd be a good source for some practical jokes.
I think I'd have to go with eating from my ass, because like
That's just an unsettling image in my mind.
it is.
An ass just gobbling up food.
It is, but I'm thinking the practicality. Like, when you're sitting there at the dinner table, like either way you're gonna have to do something fucked, but like it's gonna be really hard to get your pants off and put your dick in the drink that you're trying to drink. Like
You can bring the drink under the table and like kind of just do it like incognito.
I know, but I feel like it's gonna be harder to do that incognito than just wearing sweatpants and just shoving food into your ass.
I don't know, like someone's gonna see you do either one, and everyone's
Yeah.
gonna think you're weird for both because
Yeah,
like
you
either
don't
way it
win
looks like
either
you're
way.
just rubbing your ass with your hand, but you have food in your hand when you put it in your pants, or you're putting like a glass of juice or water in your pants, or you're just I don't know, maybe you can pour it down your pants. Either way, it looks weird. So I think it's a lose-lose in this case.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose. And I'm just gonna assume like you don't taste like piss or shit when you eat or drink.
Yeah.
So like
that'd be.
So I'm gonna eat out of my ass for sure.
So wait, I didn't even explore this part of this Would You Rather, even though it's a kind of a stupid Would You Rather, but it's a good one for discussion, I guess. Are you going to be tasting things from your dick now that you're now that you're drinking from your?
Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine what that is like. Tasting something with your dick. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's also an unsettling thought for me. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like now I'm just thinking about drinking things regularly, and I miss that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Gladly we don't have to venture into fantasy land on this
Yeah.
one. Thankfully, it's only a thought experiment. An important one. Albert Einstein would have been puzzled by
That
this
you
one,
guys
too.
need to consider,
Yeah, give us your answers, you non-existent viewers.
please.
And do you have a would you rather, you cunt?
Let me think.
The pressure's on.
Would you rather never be able to go to the gym ever again, or would you rather be naked for the rest of your life everywhere you go?
Can I work out like at all?
Sorry?
Like I can't go to the gym, but can I work out?
No, you can't work out at all.
So like I can't even jog?
No.
I have to walk everywhere?
Yeah.
Or just be naked?
Yeah. All the time, everywhere.
But the world isn't adjusted to my nakedness, right? Like
No.
yeah, I have to go with the not working out thing.
Coward.
Because like I wouldn't mind going around naked as much like if people understood that I couldn't like if I put on clothes I'd die for some reason.
Okay, I'll change it a little bit then. I'll tailor it to like so it's a little bit more fair. Everyone in Canada is used to your nakedness, but not anyone else outside of Canada.
That makes it a little challenging.
Yeah. We're getting better at this would you rather thing.
Yeah, I like the ones where you actually have to think. Well, you know, Canada is my home, but
However, you must want to travel. Everyone wants to travel.
Yeah, I feel like you could go to certain places, like even in Europe, and get away with
Oh,
it.
totally. But like airport security, it's gonna be tricky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You probably really, realistically wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
Okay,
significant.
officer, you're not gonna believe this one.
Yeah, but I can't wear clothes.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I am buff, so
Yeah.
at least you can appreciate my pecs and my dick being out.
Yeah, I guess you just have to get such big monster thighs that you can hide your cock and balls between
Yeah.
your legs and just waddle everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so. Seems like the only option at that point.
I don't know. I like it's physical health, like your physical well-being.
It is one of the most important things in this life.
But you could still be physically like fit by just walking places.
yes, but like it'd be so much harder
Yeah.
to be physically fit by just walking places. Like
You would
enjoy walking great distances to burn any sort of calories.
You wouldn't be able to like gain a lot of muscular definition or size. Like
Probably like
in
next to none.
in your legs only. You'd have to climb stairs continually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. Fuck. What do you think? What is your take on this?
I'm gonna have to And especially just like recently, it's like shed some light on it. But like I really enjoy working out. Like I don't know. I enjoy it for more than like just like being physically active and just having bigger muscles and things like that. Like it's like a thing where it's an easy way to put yourself back into a good mood and like spend some time like doing something that you know is constructive. So also like the saying really is real where they say healthy body, healthy mind. The two correlate. The two go hand in hand. It's hard to be like, I find it's harder to be in a poor mental state when you're just putting an effort in to be physically fit and active. But anyway, I was rambling. Back onto the would you rather. I'm probably gonna have to pick be naked everywhere. I guess I could try to explain it to like security, but like
I don't think realistically you're gonna get anywhere in the world. I think you're gonna be stuck.
I'm probably gonna be stuck in Canada, and that's something that I think I would like. It's pretty much a question like, would you rather give up travel or? But yeah, you can go anywhere in Canada. And there's lots of great places in Canada, but
yeah, Canada is great.
I'm sure if I really wanted to, like, I could get someone to fly me over somewhere like privately. Totally, I could get someone to do that. So I think you can leave Canada, but there's certain places you can't go to like without getting caught, like being naked.
Yeah, you're gonna have to jump some loops for sure.
I would probably try to go to Europe somehow, like, and just do the whole nude beach thing, and just be naked, I guess. But yeah, that's the only like sort of loophole that I could even think of.
Yeah, I guess you could hop on a boat.
Yeah.
Someone could boat you overseas.
Yep.
Fuck, I don't know.
But then those people, anywhere in that place where you are, like, they're not used to you being naked. But I suppose they will get used to it eventually if they even give you a chance to talk to them.
I have no idea about this one. Like, cause like both of them are really important to me. Like, I want to be able to go and see the world.
Yeah.
I guess the naked thing. Like, I guess I'd rather just.
Ladies, it's cold. I swear.
What are
you talking about, man? You're in Mexico. It's super hot over here.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I hate both conclusions.
Well, you have to pick one.
I guess
for the sake of the show and the viewers.
Yeah, the show must go on. I guess I have to do the no exercise thing. Just because, like, you can still exercise, I guess.
Oh, my God.
You just can't go and pump iron. But, like, I don't want to live only in Canada for my whole life. And I don't want to have to, like, go through gymnastics, like, to do that. Like, I don't want to have to, like, make super special arrangements that I probably won't be able to afford. Or that aren't really realistic things. I don't know. And also, not just only that, not only the travel thing, like there are a lot of things that are just going to be much worse off because like family meetings and you're just butt ass naked and there's nothing you can do about it and you're like, hi mom, I guess I can't hug you because I'm naked. Hello little cousin.
Yeah, imagine being invited to funerals and not being able to go unless you just want to be a fucking idiot and just go to a funeral naked. Like, that's like probably one of the worst things you could do in life.
Yeah, and people probably won't want to be, like, associated with you.
You'll lose all your friends. Yeah. Well, like, most of your friends, like, it's one thing about, like, not caring what other people think, but then it's just hard to be friends with someone who's naked all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Because then you can't invite them to your wedding. I mean, you could, but it's going to be a little bit awkward.
And inappropriate for, like, the kids and shit there.
Yes. That's another thing. Public outings, like, now you're exposing yourself to everyone.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that, like, from the parameters of this, you're allowed to do it, but, like, morally, would you want to just walk out into the streets and have little children see you butt-ass naked? Because I wouldn't.
I don't want to, but, like, assuming in this would you rather, like, that it's legally okay, like, I'm just going to pretend that it's legally fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Legally... Yes,
and but for some reason everyone's like, oh, it's just that dude being naked. That's kind of like the whole thing of being naked in Canada. But like, yes, I understand your point. Like,
yeah, but like little kids wouldn't know. They'd be like, "Mommy, why is that man naked?" And then they'd just be like, "Oh, he has no choice."
well, you're making this like, would you rather a little too real?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, that's why it's such a hard question. Like, I'd rather just like only be able to walk around places and like get my exercise that way.
I couldn't live with being a fucking stick, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would suck, but like
Once you work out and like you make some gains, like all you fucking gym goers out there that know what I'm talking about, like the people that just lifted weights a couple times and then they seen some gains and just stuck with it, like you guys know what I'm talking about.
yeah, but it's just like I don't know. It's just like it's that or your whole social life. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough answer either
I
way.
would probably just go to like I'd probably like steer like more towards doing adult activities. So like obviously you are probably going to it's inevitable you're going to run into families walking on the street, but you know, if you can at least do your part to like just try to like do things that you know aren't like kid oriented.
I'm also just assuming that you can't cover yourself up like with your hand or anything. Like you have to be like fully exposed to the world.
I feel like maybe like being able to cover your dick with like a hand or something might be too much of an out.
Yeah,
that's what you rather.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, there's no you have to have your dick exposed at any point.
Okay, you know what? I'll add this to it. You can cover your dick with your hand when you're around kids, because obviously you don't want that shit. Like you don't want to expose yourself in that way, because that's fucked.
I don't know. I'm still sticking with my answer because I don't know. There's too many variables. There's too many variables of how you'd have to fuck your life up to just be naked all the time. You wouldn't live a full life. That's my opinion. You wouldn't live a full life either not being able to exercise, but like I feel like you lose more by being naked all the time.
I feel better about my answer with the modified version of this. I'm gonna double down on my naked answer.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think, because this is an interesting one. Okay.
That is pretty much it for this episode.
Well, we should talk about.
It did get a little weird.
Yeah, let's get weird.
End,
but we did watch a movie, so let's touch really quick to wrap this up real quick about Pet Sematary. Fucking spoiler free. I'm just gonna say it was fucking awesome. I thought it was really, really, really well done movie. It's also a really, really good story. And we both went into it with clean slates. We hadn't seen the previous movie, so maybe that would have ruined it for us. But like, great movie.
I'm glad I didn't watch the original before going in and watching this movie.
Yeah.
Just because it would have kind of like ruined it a little bit to know how the movie was gonna end. Like, there's some differences in the movies, but like it's still the same story essentially, with the new movie and the old movie. But I'm glad we didn't watch the original, so neither of us knew what was gonna happen at the end or throughout the movie. Like each thing for me, like each dramatic scene and like just like disturbing scene was like maximum levels of disturbing and surprising, because like you don't know what's gonna happen, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do.
Yeah, dipping into spoilers, so skip it if you don't want to hear it. Like the scene where the little girl gets hit by the truck, that was a really emotional scene. Like I was like, wow, like that really hit me. Like shit. Like I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was just like, damn, like that was the most emotional scene I've seen in a long time. I was like, damn, they really just killed that little girl.
I know, it disturbed you so bad that you were beatboxing at one point.
I was beatboxing?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you were beatboxing at one point in the movie theater.
Are you making this up, or was I actually doing something?
You were beatboxing for a quick second.
What was that, like?
Yeah.
Or was I just doing that, like blowing out air? Like,
No, it was like
there's no way I did that. You're making shit
No,
up.
I'm serious. I'm serious. It was the Lambs, man.
Yeah. You gotta watch movies drunk, boys. In public.
It's the only way.
So anyway,
Lambs, please sponsor us.
if please, if you're listening to this at the time that it is in theaters, go watch it in theaters.
Yes,
Guaranteed. I don't care if you don't like horror movies.
You'll like this movie.
Be a man or be a woman.
Be a woman and fucking watch this movie.
Because like I'm not good with scary movies either. Like I'll jump at anything. But like this was really a suspenseful movie, but worth watching. I think I gave Us a 4 out of 5 milk bones. I would give this a 4.1 out of 5 milk bones. This was the best movie I've seen all year.
You said 4.1?
Yeah. This is because like this is better than Us in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought it was better than Us. Like
this
you know what, Jordan Peele, like you're the man.
Was it great? Us was also
what
great.
You're doing.
Us was also great.
But Pet Sematary, man, like just Stephen King movies, like it's so hard to compete with them. Like, and I don't feel really bad about comparing Us and Pet Sematary because like that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make a horror movie, but Stephen King is just doing it better right now, and he's one of the best for a reason. Like his books are like some of the greatest horror books written.
Yeah, he really had a mind for it.
And I don't know if he has a creative part of the movies, but like they're all being adapted super well from the books. Like
yeah, props to the director too. But it really was the story that was the great part about it.
I wasn't sure about Bag of Bones. Like it was still a well produced movie, but like it wasn't really quite as scary. It wasn't up to par. Like I don't think there wasn't nearly the same budget for that movie, to be fair. Like, but yeah, we'll just forget I mentioned that movie.
Yeah, Pet Sematary was an amazing story by Stephen King that he wrote about, and then the directors and the producers and the actors really brought it to life, and it's just a great flick. It's got everything. So yeah, I'm sticking with that. 4.1 out of 5 milk bones.
I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
Okay, all right. I think. I only give it the like the extra little point, which I usually don't do because again, Us I think I gave a 4, but this was better.
The whole cast, like the thing I like about Stephen King movies is it's not just a horror movie, it's a movie, like and by that I mean like with horror movies, like usually like there's some sacrifices to some aspects of the movie, like acting
Notably, yeah.
And with even it, like the whole cast of child actors were just amazing. I've never seen a group of child actors like better than that, except for like some show that I would compare to it, like in terms of good child actors, is Stranger Things.
Yeah, and one of the kids is the same.
Yeah, is the same character. I can't remember his name.
Finn Wolfhard.
Yes, Finn Wolfhard. He's a good actor.
Yes.
But
watch the movie.
Watch the movie. Watch it and this movie or any Stephen King movie. I still haven't seen The Shining. I want to watch that movie. I want to read that book maybe, potentially. I've heard really great things about it, and horror is just like a genre that like I've just started to appreciate more this year. I think it's really great.
There's a lot of bad horror movies.
If you can watch a movie and it just genuinely disturbs you and like makes you like unsettled and like you're just like, oh, like that made me uncomfortable, like it did its job. It's like a comedy that makes you just piss yourself laughing, like crying. Like a movie, if it can evoke that kind of emotion, then it's an experience. It's not just a movie at that point.
Yeah, it's art. But anyway, we'll call it a wrap. Watch the fucking movie, people. Goodbye.